Hello everybody and welcome back to RPG Weekly, now at our new time of Saturday evening, which is a little bit better for me because it means that I'm a little bit more well-rested. Although today I'm particularly well-rested because I took up an hour nap that ended up going a bit longer than I meant it to. But anyways, we're back with more Masquerada, Songs and Shadows, with the very lovely soundtrack that you guys heard there a minute ago, which we're going to get back in just a second because it plays ceaselessly on the opening screen. So I'm just making sure that it's quiet enough that you can hear me over it. Theoretically, you should be able to. Yeah, you should be able to hear me over it no matter, even when I'm talking slightly softer. So, the thing. There we go. Continue. The Cleaver.
We'll be back soon.
We'll be here.
A word, Mariner?
Something the matter?
About what happened on the coach.
The twins seem to appreciate.
Stop it. I know you mean well. You think getting me to talk about my past will help me get over it. It won't. I've spent the past 5 years burying the man that abandoned his brother and fled the city. Stop trying to bring him back. Is that clear?
But you...
Is that clear?
I wonder how many takes that line
That's
took.
the belt, sir.
And how many
Now,
individual takes they used for that one, because it very interestingly enough, for those of you that aren't as familiar with how voice acting works, is a lot of times they'll take several takes and sort of choose bits and pieces to make it sound the way they particularly want it. And the emphasis on 5 years there sounded kind of like they cut it from a different take, just because the more natural way that line would have flowed from the beginning of the line was, I spent the last 5 years, da la 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 la. But instead, they went, I spent the last 5 years, da la la la. Which is a good emphasis, and that's probably what they wanted, but your natural implication is to roll into the 5 and hit the years, rather than pausing to hit the 5. So I'm wondering if they actually had him do that correct take, or if they just took 2 different takes he gave them and sliced them together.
steepled fingers of stone.
I wonder what we'll find.
Hopefully something that leads us closer to...
Can you hear that? Force my hand.
I like how these things are just slap boxing our allies. Ah, so many.
It seems we rushed here for nothing.
Surely you didn't think in Spatori Gavar. I'd assumed you'd taken root somewhere across the belt.
That I had, until those roots dried up and shriveled.
You're brave, stepping into Cacciatore territory without permission.
I'd like to think the desperate cries of your men were permission enough.
Huh. Already you cultivate words for posturing.
Forgive me. It slipped my mind how indisposed the Cacciatore are towards the nuances of politics.
Why are you here?
I need to know if this ward has seen visitors from the White Spire recently.
Should you not be seeking that answer in a mirror?
One of our own is missing. He was acting clandestinely.
And you spurned the Green Guild for straying from politics. See what they do to your own.
Please, Rex, answer the question.
There has been one recently, from what my men have told me. A Regenti, I believe.
Can you tell us more?
No, but I know someone who can. In exchange for the answer, my guild will be acquitted for any dues you think it owes for your assistance battling the Fae.
Fair enough.
And you will leave us out of your mire of politics.
As far as I can.
Her name is Amadea, and she is partial towards the Cleaver. She believes it was a special site in the times of the Dementicate, and has been studying its contents for years now.
And she knows about the Regenti?
My men said they traveled to the lower levels of the ruins together.
For what?
I don't know.
The Rex of the Cacciatore not knowing the business of his own?
Amadea is of the Dieci.
And she operates freely within your territory?
There are special circumstances.
She bribed you.
You said you would leave me out of the mire.
So I did. Where is she now?
Further down in the ruins, I suspect. She was with us when the Kilgan attacked, but she didn't stay by our side.
I see. Then, with your permission.
Go, and consider our debt settled. May this be the last I see of the Spire's poison.
Man, a world in which people hate politics. I wonder what that would be like.
I can't believe you just coerced the Rex of the Cacciatore.
I don't like it any more than you do, but any other way, and he wouldn't have let us stand upon his soil.
What I'd do to see this city free of its politics.
Hold on, sir.
What's the matter?
Are you going down into the ruins?
Yes? What's it to you?
A few of us were scouts, and we'd been deeper in the ruins when the Fae began attacking.
Well, you made it out alive. Good on you.
Not all of us. One of the scouts, Igoris, hasn't made it out yet. I was hoping...
I'll keep an eye out for him.
Thank you, sir.
I hadn't been meaning to go down yet. I was hoping I'd... Oh, well.
You think this Amadea can help us?
She better. If not, I don't...
Aha!
don't know what other leads we have.
Yep. Aha! Another skill point rewarded. Yes.
It seems that this is our ride down.
Tides. It looks unstable.
The best survivalists in all of Umber built this. It should support you.
Your faith in my weight is touching.
At least it's not a rusty ladder. Come on.
Here we are. The ruins proper.
None of these ruins are proper. Haven't been in millennia. Hold on.
I meant the actual ruins, you
Blocking our way, that...
contrarian bastard.
Are you ready?
When you are.
Ready yourself! Seems like they were guarding this.
Cicero.
Do you remember the Fae in Raz's office?
Cicero.
The way they were guarding it reminds me of those in the class.
Cicero!
What?
Put it down.
Let him...
Down. Step away. Don't follow me.
She had to throw her spear to do that. You could have easily drawn and gotten her.
Not quite sure.
Do you think that's Amadea?
She was wearing the Dietchi's colors. Muted, but definitely still the Dietchi's.
Lead on, then. Tides. This place is enormous.
Thankfully, the path is straight. Imagine how much work we'd have to do if it wasn't. Hold your ground!
How do you think she's dealt with all these Fae?
She's quick on her feet. I suspect she mostly runs.
And she's mighty fine at it, too.
That's a weird compliment.
Tides. The mists are thick here, too.
With all the Fae, not surprising, is it?
Is that her?
Let's find out. Maybe that wasn't such a good idea.
So the storm begins.
Razatov Azrith. We know he's been coming here with you. We want to know why.
And if I tell you, will you leave me alone?
Depends if we need more details.
He and I were working out of one of the rooms, deeper in.
Can you take us to it?
Something's made the Kilgan in the area aggressive, and their behavior has put the artifacts of these runes in danger.
What, are you some kind of curator? I'm sorry. We'll take care of the Kilgan, and you lead us to his work.
And we'll ignore the fact that you held my buddy at spear
Done
point.
with one another.
If you wish.
Let's go.
I'd rather we didn't ignore that fact. Shut up. You don't have a say. Crumble, crumble. Earth powers.
This pit's pretty.
Let me guess. The light comes from some ancient Dementicate technology that you've been studying.
No, that's just glowing moss.
Oh.
Don't overthink it, dude.
So, that cube you took from us, what is it?
I don't know.
Come now.
All I know is that it doesn't belong in your hands.
That's a harsh way to put it.
It doesn't belong in any of our hands. Just look at how the Fae guard it.
Curious behavior that was.
They're selective about what they protect. From my observations, they tend to be defensive about things that might have had some significance to the Dementicate. Weapons, statues, things like that.
You know a lot about that, don't you? Never mind then.
The first room is straight up ahead.
Alright. What's down here?
I'm ready.
Ah. Well, ask a stupid question. Hey, we found our buddy. Apparently, we haven't found him in the correct pattern because can't do shit to help.
There are truths in this world that we have yet to even glimpse. Truths that, if you knew anything about the Dementicate, you would know they were familiar with. There's much to be learned from studying the past.
Like how to lead a civilization to extinction?
Let's keep going, shall we?
Amadea is the person that knows a lot about history and therefore looks down on other people because they don't know a lot about history. Character type. The intelligence matters more than anything else thing. And if you're not smart, you're not worth my time. Particularly annoying character type, but I mean not an uncommon one, just slightly annoying. Now we can find him. We are on the tightest of rails.
He's gone.
This must have been the scout the Cacciatore mentioned.
Wait. Something's not right. His face. It's frozen.
This wasn't done by the Kilgan.
A water brand, then?
No!
Mask runners.
Damn it.
Ow. Trying to adjust my hair, and everything went wrong.
Well, the Regenti was right after all. He's got quick friends.
Where is he?
Get them!
I'll cover you.
There we go. Right. I keep hitting the wrong button.
Where did she go?
Damn it!
There.
Calden. Amadea, come on.
Where is he?
Please don't kill her, Calden. We need her intact.
Tell me!
Enough! Hatred. Here we go.
Weapon at the ready!
Antiquarian.
Where is the Regenti?
Lady, deliver me.
Answer me! Damn.
Here, look.
What is it?
Razatov's. I'm surprised it survived, considering what it went through.
How did you find this?
I thought I saw something moving in the rubble. A light or something. It had to be his journal. All's been charred save a single entry.
My instincts were right. Aechian Siun of the Air Nuarth was the time when the god of the Dementicate, Breog, gifted them with the artifacts, the Treror. With them, the Dementicate expanded. The evidence of what the artifacts...
There's a lot of proper nouns in
do
this
was all
sentence.
around us. Masquerades. Their god allowed them, taught them how to create masquerades, using the 3 artifacts. And I know how to find them. He actually did it.
I believe our agreement has come to an end.
That's it?
What? You expected me to follow you?
It's not about following me. This is a breakthrough, Amadea. The very fabric of the city will unravel because of this.
Then go. Be excited.
I thought you'd want to be part of it.
Goodbye, Inspettori.
Goodbye.
Oh well.
$172. Tell me how I am supposed to explain our actions to the families of 172 of my people.
Null. We have spoken about this before.
It is not enough. Telling them that the lady has better plans for them is not damn near enough. Where were you? Where was the lady when the Portieri assaulted the Quiet Order? Why did she not give us a sign? Why did you leave us?
The answers are beyond your comprehension. You must have faith, Null.
Then give it to me! Tell me why we are letting our people die.
We needed the Regenti. You were there when we took her. You were there when he told us about the Cleaver, about the girl.
And after we learn about that, you choose to send my people in such small numbers, just like the Conoscenza. You refuse to listen to my plea for sending more.
Have faith, Null.
I have had enough! You might have converted a few of my people to your religion, but you know that I still command their hearts. You have a day to make good on our bargain, Herald, or I will take my people and do it my way. Why didn't he tell me?
Perhaps he intended to, but didn't get the chance.
Ugh. If he spent days, weeks even, in those stupid ruins, why wasn't I informed? Can't believe I trusted such a fool with something so...
Razatov wasn't a fool.
No? Then why is he now in the hands of rebel scum?
He found what you told him to find. More even.
So where are the answers? What are your plans?
There's only one lead left.
The masked runners who...
They need to be contacted. A channel of communication needs to be set up.
And how are you intending to do that?
To Cicero Gavar of the Cavalli Fields, Hyacinth District. You have been summoned back to Omber, at the request of the Verone. Your exile will be revoked, and you will be granted a grand sum of 10,000 crescents, should you complete the business that awaits you. A pair of coach hands has been...
Get to your point.
The business was to find Razatov. I have found him. He is with the Mask Runners.
20,000 if you bring him back.
Lucia has been working on a case involving the Mask Runners. She should...
I will not accept this. You... When my rats in the Cavalli Fields told me that you'd gotten familiar with the bottom of tankards, I pulled a few strings, cut a few trade routes, terminated a few breweries.
Why would you do that?
Because you're better than that. You're better than the drunkard I kept reading about in all the reports from the fields. And you're better than this coward who wants to turn in an investigation just because it suddenly involves going to the Mask Runners. Yes, you made a mistake. And yes, that mistake cost you your brother's life, nearly cost you yours, and has cost me my city. But it was a mistake. And we are not defined stakes.
Cicero!
Let them burn. If I'm doing this, I'm not using some pathetic hand-me-downs. I'll make my own notes, thank you very much. Where is the mariner?
He wanted to go to the Hall of Song, sir. Asked us to take him there while you went inside.
Well, take us there, please. I should speak with him. And hopefully catch up with an old friend, too. Really, Ricardo? One of these days you're going to have to sort these seats out.
Is something bothering you, sir?
There are papers everywhere.
Papers?
My brother does like his notes messy, sir.
Well, take it from me. You could... Hang on. Now, what's this?
What is what?
History of Medea. Summarized points.
Oh, sir, you weren't supposed to find that. Please just...
Another one. Calculus. Quite a few formulae. These are rather small for notes, aren't they?
What, Ricardo, are you...
Making a cheat sheet?
What? Oh, no, you're not to... You're not going to report me, Inspector, are you? I failed twice already.
Depends. If you can find me a place to stay for the night that's free from the mire of politics, I'll consider.
Really? Oh, well, all right then, sir. Prepare to be, freed of the mire of politics, I mean.
One more thing, before you return.
Of course, sir.
If you could go back to the Cleaver and find Amadea. Red hair, tied into a braid, wearing Dieci clothes. Shouldn't be too far from the ruins. Tell her or the registry, would like to speak to her.
We'll keep an eye out, sir.
You seem an interesting individual. What's your story?
Thank you, sisters. Orlana, will you please take the chime and place it where it belongs?
Mirabas?
Cicero?
It's been a while.
Oh, Cicero, it is you. Come here. I never thought. Why have you returned?
Business, I'm afraid. I cannot speak too much of it.
I understand. But here? Have you come to listen to some songs?
No. A friend of mine should be here. A mariner.
I believe I heard some of my songstresses speaking of one. He should be somewhere atop the singing tree.
I'll find him. Thank you, Mirabas.
Atop the singing tree, you say? Well, this would be the singing tree. And I guess it would be this way to the top. Aha, there he is.
I'm sorry.
A strange choice of greeting.
That mask runner. If I hadn't done what I did, maybe she wouldn't have died.
She wouldn't have been the first mask runner you've killed.
It's not about me. If she was still alive, maybe she could tell us where my brother is. Or where to find the artifacts.
You heard.
And learning how to create Masquerades again is huge, I know. But somehow, compared to finding my brother, I say that I'm scared for him. But in the end, it is I that undermines our progress to find him. Razatov is that much further away now.
5 years ago, I was put on an investigation that led me to discover that my brother had been siphoning Masquerades out of the Hall of Bearings. I didn't join him in the endeavor, obviously, but I let him go. When the registry found out, and word spread, the consensus at the time was that I had to be punished. Death by hanging was the easiest option, to remind the others what awaited them should they ever place their hearts above their duty. It was your brother that sacrificed much of his clout to negotiate the terms of my punishment. He managed to reduce it from a death sentence to one of exile. Your brother saved my life, Calden.
I didn't know that.
We'll get him back, Calden. On your Mariner's moon. I promise that.
Thank you.
I don't know why my dog feels the need to come through the middle of the curtain rather than around either side, but it's kind of annoying.
Calden?
Tuss.
Who is that?
Calden!
Please, Orlana.
Every marshal that I've spoken to says that you knew him well.
Calden, who is this?
Inspectore, my name is Orlana Corvale, songstress of the Hall of Songs and sister of Jax's Corvale.
Orlana, do not involve the Inspectore, please.
I had once tried asking the registry for assistance, but they turned me aside. Perhaps you will be kinder.
Orlana, you must move on.
How? My brother is dead, and I know not why or how, and the only lead I have refuses to answer my questions.
There is nothing to answer.
And so I approach an Inspectore, who certainly could do a better job than I.
Cicero, we have no time for this.
Let the Inspectore...
Jaxus is gone, and no amount of investigating is going to bring him back to the shores of life. He would want you to move on.
But please...
Orlana.
Calden.
A shadow of my past.
Huh. Well, that was interesting. Unfortunately, this game is so on rails that I can't then follow back behind her, find her, and ask her questions. Which is what I would like to do. Time to have this conversation.
What is this about?
No greetings, even?
Stop wasting my time.
All right. I want you to be a part of this investigation.
What?
You have expertise that my team is lacking.
This is not a good idea.
I can pay you 1,000 crescents.
You don't have that kind of money.
I will once I finish my job, with your help. Amadea, what is stopping you? Masquerades, the blood of the city. This is our chance to find out where they came from. For centuries, the histories of the land have been enigmatic. For the first time, that curtain is being lifted.
Fine.
Really?
Do you want me to back out now?
No. This is good. Thank you.
Now, where are we going?
Toth, found us a place yet?
Yes, we did.
We think you'd be most pleased with it, sir.
Well, let's hope you're right.
It's getting crowded in this carriage.
So, what fruits have your search yielded?
It's a place called the Estiguary, sir.
Is it crowded?
Not at all, sir. In fact, the place is practically barren, save the people who own it.
The owner said the war's done a toll, but he's more than willing to house us for the night. For as long as we want, in fact.
Generous. How much is he asking?
He said it depends on who we bring back.
Of course he did. I wouldn't put my trust in anyone who didn't hold a bargain.
I'm glad you think so, sir. We're just arriving.
Tides. That's...
Beautiful.
All right, Ricardo. I hereby promise never to rat you out.
Sir, we'll go in and tell the owner that you're here. We'll be right back.
I noticed...
understand. This is too beautiful to be so... empty.
The owner was telling us that the people of the city forgot about it ever since the war started. In the first year of the war, the road that led here was frequented by masked runners.
Makes sense that people stopped coming.
What a pity.
I noticed
Shedding
that,
any tears. More space we have to ourselves, the better, I say.
The road on the way here, lots of the buildings had flags attached to them related to colors. And I noticed that this one doesn't appear to have one. Not that I can see. I'm assuming that the flags related to colors also relate to the guild that house, you know, espouses or connects to. Also, the world suddenly ends right there. That's weird. So the fact that this doesn't have a color is interesting. I wonder if that'll be explained.
All right. Let's see.
Cicero?
Hello, Ven.
Wait.
You know each other.
What? I don't believe it.
How have you been?
I should be asking you that question, you rascal. Why didn't you tell me you were bringing him?
We didn't know that.
Well, why don't the lot of you find some rooms that suit you? As you can tell, the entire place is basically yours.
About that, Ven. The twins were saying something about price.
Ha! Cicero, please. What do you think I am? The kind of man who swindles his friends? No, that treatment is reserved for the dastardly. You stay here for free.
Ven, I can't.
I insist.
And I insist not. You will take something, or I'm afraid I'm going to have to walk out.
All right. But remember, you insisted. Now, please, the...
Ages, Lucia. You had me worried.
Is this a bad time? I was out in the Pale Isle when I saw you leave the spire. I hope you don't mind that I followed you. I thought it'd be prudent for me to offer an apology.
The rest of you, call it a night. Get a room, get comfortable. I'm certain Leventhus over here can get you all settled in.
Definitely. We won't disturb. Promise.
All right. About suggesting that Avestus call you back, Cicero,
You can pay me back by telling me all you know about the mask runners.
Sorry?
Come on, you're hard of hearing now. You said you were investigating them, yes?
Unbelievable. All right. Over drinks?
Sounds like a plan. So, first things first. This herald.
It's a very interesting feeling hearing two voice actors whose work I appreciate quite a lot having a conversation in game.
Lucius says that ever since the War of Bearings began, the mask runners have been fragmented, returning back to their factions, the way things were before my brother.
And which faction has Razatov?
They call themselves the Dactytes. They're the ones we met at the Quiet Order.
Led by the Herald.
Exactly.
And what do you plan to do?
Find this herald and get Razatov back. Simple as that.
There you are. Is she the result of the cleaver?
Result?
How did you find us?
I returned to the White Spire this morning. Inspectori Lucia was there. Apparently, she'd been here for most of last night.
Can't hide forever.
Marshal, this is Amadea. She'll be lending us her expertise in the Dementicate.
You've spoken to her of the artifacts, then?
We have.
So, what are they? What do they do?
We're not entirely sure yet. Our leads in the Cleaver were destroyed.
What are your plans now?
We need to get Razatov back from the Mask Runners, a faction of them called the Dactytes to be specific, and we're going to do that by finding the Herald, their leader.
Direct. How refreshing. And how do you intend to find this Herald?
By finding Lysandra Rorik.
What?
The leader of the Mask Runners.
Make a distinction, Marshal. Lysandra leads the Melakate. They're not the Mask Runners with Razatov.
Just tell me which groups I should be taking note of.
The first, the Dactytes, a new faction led by the Herald who have Razatov. The second, what remains of the Melakate, led by Lysandra, my brother's second in command.
And you want to find her because you believe she can lead us to the Herald?
Yes, and Lucia concurs.
Inspectori, those are Mask Runners you're talking about associating yourself with.
We're not colluding with them. We just need information.
They are fugitives of the law.
If you have another suggestion on how we should find Razatov, please, I'm all ears.
I hope you know what you're doing.
To find her, Lucia has suggested that we turn to a character called the Bloodless.
I suppose that is a smart move.
No.
Lucia didn't tell me very much about the man.
He is a man without honor.
He is a smart man of the Laboris Solus who recognizes the power of information and secrets. If there is anyone that can track a person down in the city, it is him.
The Luca have spent years attempting to locate this man. He's crossed more than a few of my guild's boundaries.
Note that we are not here to tend to the Golden Guild's interests.
You might not be.
You think Favio will be happy with you stopping this investigation just to catch one man?
Oh, fine. I will not act against him.
I do not trust him.
Calvin.
I am sorry, Cicero, but there are entities in this city that I do not wish to be involved with.
For the sake of your brother, even?
As long as I don't ever have anything to do with him.
And how do you intend to establish contact with this enigma?
You seem to know a thing or two about him.
I've worked with one of his messengers before. Vasco Tessitore. He's often found in a tavern called the Bleeding Beetle. That is our best bet.
Then what are we waiting for?
Bam.
What do you want?
You seem troubled.
I stick with you for one day, and already I'm part of plans to venture into the darkest parts of the city. Mask Runners, the Bloodless.
It is often in the shadows do secrets hide. And we are chasing big secrets.
Big
What
shadows.
do you think the city will be like once we find Razatov and the artifacts?
Well, Masquerades will no longer be scarce, which means the fundamental threads that our society has been woven from will change. How that even begins to affect our world. Well, the guilds might not even need to exist. The titles of Contadoni and Mask Runner might cease to mean anything. I really don't know.
I suppose we'll find out.
Let's explore.
Sure you don't want to come?
Yes.
He's going to help us find your brother, you know.
Then I'll be glad when he does.
I'll see you later, then. Ven, are you still interested in that hobby of yours? Collecting stones and fine metals and all that?
I haven't changed that much.
Well, have a look at this, please, and tell me all you can of it. What is it? I was hoping you could tell me. I have a feeling it's got at least a few, special properties.
I'll do some tests and measurements and get back to you about it when you return.
One last thing. Don't tell the Marshal about it, if you could.
My lips are sealed.
Also, don't get blood on it, because that tends to be bad.
Where did you go?
You've seen how he is. He's a good man, Elena.
Even good men have standards.
I hope you're not talking about me.
Sir!
Sir, we were just...
Nothing.
You were just nothing? Well, if that's really the case...
We'd like to practice the Vicifer, sir.
Brother!
Both of you?
I apologize, sir. My brother...
Let him speak.
Yes, the both of us, sir. Meliari for myself and Messaniari for my sister.
Well, if you want to practice the Vicifer, you're going to need a piece of equipment from a Masquerada, aren't you?
Yes, sir, but we understand if you don't want to do this. After all, we have nothing to our name and no credentials and...
Will this do?
Sir...
That's not an answer.
What? It would do fantastically, sir. There's enough space for the inscriptions involved in Meliare.
And the blade is more than enough to paint on. Are you sure, sir?
Well, the worst that could happen is I get an ugly blade back, isn't it?
All right, just a minute, sir. We'll do some basic forms.
Now, a moment of truth. The energies do flow smoother.
It worked, brother!
I don't believe it. Thank you, sir.
Well, if there's anything more I can do...
Sigils, sir. Anything that has complicated Dementicate symbols. I'd like to try my hand at the more complex workings.
I'll keep an eye out. And you, Elena?
If you could find plants of the more exotic variety, I could use their dyes. A larger palette drastically alters the effects of Messaniare.
I'll bring back anything I can find.
These are lots of proper nouns you're not explaining.
Since you're both trained in the Vicifer, you think you could handle this?
Raw masquerines.
I don't intend on getting bogged down with the documentation if I have to go through the registry's artisans to get these touched up.
Sir, this is basic work. We can get these up to scratch in no time.
Good. Until then, however, we have business to attend to.
Where, sir?
An establishment called the Bleeding Beetle. You know of it?
It's one of our favorite haunts, sir.
Excellent. Off we go then.
Bum, 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 bum. The Vicifer. The Vicifer revolves around aesthetically enhancing the equipment of Masquerada, from their wardrobe to their weapons to masquerines even, in order to bolster their abilities. These augmentations take the form of engravings in Meliare and painted symbols in Messaniare, and both assist the Masquerada who wears the equipment to better channel their powers. The Vicifer are unique among the media, for the engravings need necessarily be performed by a person in possession of a masquerine. Yes, a masquerine is needed in order to benefit from the augmentations. The actual process of the applications of such enhancements can be done even by contendani, however rare that might be. Dulcigzo. 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 I should have gone air. I'm disappointed I didn't. Mostly because we already have... Now we have, for our first 4 characters, fire,
familiar with the owner of the
water,
He was a close friend of my
Fire.
family's when I
Earth.
was younger. Before I joined the Portieri, he shared his purse with us. Helped us get through rough times.
That's sweet.
And naive. Most Contadani can't even fend for themselves. What sense is there in sharing?
What sense is there in not keeping everything to yourself? What's the use?
Ah, the stone-cold girl finally shows a sliver of a heart.
It just doesn't make sense.
The street to get you to the Bleeding Beetles down this way, sir. Too small for the coach.
We'll be waiting for you here, whenever you're done.
Very good.
It's just ahead. That's him. The one with the flute.
He's good.
Among the city's best. We should get closer.
By the ages.
What do you see?
There, over by the side. That man with the guards. That's Izander Urshel. He's the leader of the Salt Breeders, one of the smaller Masquerada factions that existed before the war. Apparently, they're still around.
I've heard of them. Getting Contadani addicted to stone salt, then charging exorbitantly. They've practically robbed hundreds of families of their stability.
And nothing's been done about it.
And nothing will be done. Not today, at least. Remember who we're here for.
Thank you, thank you.
He's getting away.
Marshal, don't do anything.
You, stay where you are.
What are you doing?
What? Protect me.
Oh, great.
Damn it, woman. We had this conversation.
What in all the legacies do you think you're doing?
That man is Izander.
I know who he is, damn it. He has a contract on his head, for blood's sake.
You mean that...
Forget it! I see you're with Amadea. You're here for the Bloodless?
Yes.
Then you will listen to me. Izander is a large man, with a love for large spaces. He will not take any of the alleyways, and neither will you.
What do you mean by...
You will follow him, chase him, and he will send his guards to stop you. Be a dear and take care of them for me.
I think we found our next member.
Slip through the shadows. If you do your job right and keep him running down the wide street, I'll be able to take care of him once he's alone. I repeat, alone. That means...
No guards, we get it.
Good. Then go before you lose him.
Way to fucking go. Another raw masquerade.
Stop! There's 3 of them. We can take them on. Protect me!
Let's make them regret this.
Don't let him get away!
Stop! I can't run. We have to fight!
And you're very sprightly for a fat man.
There, ahead. Going somewhere? Well, well, Lysander. You've been a tough rat to catch.
I did nothing wrong.
Oh, how entertaining the words of the ignorant can sometimes be. You consider ruining the lives of hundreds of Contadani nothing wrong.
They came to me for the salt. They wanted it. I never forced it on them.
No. You simply lied to them. Told them it was medication. And then you watched their lives fall apart in front of you as you grew fat upon their innocence.
I won't do it again. You have my word. I'll give them back the money, I swear.
A kind offer. How unlike you, Lysander.
People change.
Go then. The Laboris will keep its ear out for you. If we hear that you have not been true to your word.
Hunt me again, I'll say.
A fair deal. Off you go then. Now, time for the real show.
Think you can threaten me?
So much cleaner for the heart when they fall upon their own blade, wouldn't you say?
You knew he was going to try that.
Of course I did. Stick around in my vein of work long enough, and you learn that people like that never change. But the lot of you clearly haven't been in this vein for very long.
Silence, bloodling.
And you are in a position to say such a thing. You who ruined the entire plan.
As if you even had a plan. You're nothing but...
Lysander Urshel is a man of habit and a man of fine hearing. After every strong performance he witnesses, he retreats to his abode in the dim way, intent on scribing out the music. This is the only time you will ever catch him without his guards, the time when his neck is most ripe for the cutting. So yes, O Golden One, I had a plan. But come, enough talk of the dead. You've helped me clear a contract. I suppose introductions are at least necessary? My name is Vasco Tessitore, bloodling of the Laboris Salis.
And I...
Inspectore Cicero Gavar of the Registry, Amadea Invidius, initiate of the Dieci Sovrani, and Lumbering Cow, mistake of the Luca Infinita.
How dare you!
Hold, Marshal. We've come with a purpose. Do not forget that. We need to speak with the Bloodless.
I'd guessed as much when I saw Amadea with you. Though I am curious to ask, such strange company you're keeping, my dear.
Well, the winds of change are blowing strong.
And the paths of the supple carried along. I see. Well...
Oh, don't stop there.
I'm sorry?
Certainly you'll not quote one half of the song without the other. The branches of death lull to its beat,
and in their wake do the sleepers weep. Oh, truly, what a choice of companion, Amadea.
You know the song?
My brother taught it to me, yes. It seems you've forgotten who I am.
I'm afraid I had.
Excuse me, what is going on?
Nothing, Marshal. Just exchanging words about an old ditty. But enough of that. I'm sure we'll have more time to talk later, yes?
Of course.
We'll head back to the Estiguary. We can all speak a little bit more then.
Let's head back to our lovely
question,
abode.
Bloodling, before we talk business.
Aye, sir?
You sing songs and tell tales of the lives of others, yes?
That I do. I also eat and drink and sometimes sleep.
Have you ever heard of a young boy who went by the name of Jabs before? His mother had been a dirge in the Laboris as well, Talia Victus.
Not names that chime in my memory, no. Why?
It sounds strange, but you remind me a little of him.
He must be quite the fetching man.
Oh, if you were alive, perhaps.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It has been enough years for that wound to close. Forget I ever brought it up.
My, what a beauty. Already you're taking me to the good places in Spatore.
Marshal, if you'd watch him, I don't want him breaking.
Does that include his face?
No.
Why didn't you tell me earlier?
What did you expect me to say? Hello, I was a mask runner. I hope you don't mind.
When you use mask runner code phrases in front of me, that's basically what you're saying anyway. Why did you suggest the Bloodless? Surely you know where Lysandra is.
It's been years since I left the Malacate. He's the best lead we have.
Why did you leave?
Reasons.
All right, I won't pry.
What?
Most of the time when people ask why I left the city, I usually feel like introducing them to my fist, so... Yes, I understand if you don't want to talk about it. Besides, it's not why you're here anyway.
You're right. It's not.
What? We'll continue this another time.
Whoops, forgot Kelton was here.
Enough, Mariner.
What's going on?
Ah, Inspectore. Perhaps you can be of assistance in this matter.
Why did you bring him back here?
We are to speak to him in the privacy of our lodging. I see no issue with that.
Honestly, neither do I.
Do not speak to me of honesty. You work for the Bloodless. You don't even understand the word.
Kaldin, what is wrong with you?
With me? This man is a tool the Bloodless has used to spread his tides of corruption through the city. Why do you bring him into this house?
To get your brother back. Now sit. We are having civil conversation.
I'm exciting, I know.
Now is not the time for glibness.
All right. The Bloodless has numerous contracts, each with varying difficulty. It is my task to judge which contract is worthy of the price you demand.
2 questions are all we wish to ask.
Ask away.
I do not believe you should be privy to these questions.
Agreed. Your tongue is far too loose to trust.
Ha! Understand this, if nothing else. I have not survived as an agent of the Bloodless by dancing through the streets, tongue-wagging. If this discussion is to progress any further, you must first pay me with trust.
The first step into the mire.
Silence, Mariner! You are seated in the quiet chair. You are not allowed to speak unless you come and sit at the speaking table. Rules of civilized conversation. So, what shall it be then, Inspectore?
We wish to ask him the following questions.
Cicero!
Chair!
The Mask Runners have a figure in their ranks they call the Herald. Where can we find him?
All right. And?
Where can we find Lysandra Rorik?
For those 2 questions, I have a contract in mind. Perhaps the Mariner would like to be here to hear it in its entirety?
I can hear you fine from here.
Fine. It is a matron.
What?
I can hear you fine from here.
Explain yourself.
Did someone say something?
Explain.
I like Vasco.
The
He's fun.
contract has been placed on the matron of the Withering Mast.
Matron Beneva?
The Withering Mast is a ward of the Sorelle known for taking in single mothers with little hope left in the world.
And in doing so has only helped dozens of mothers and their families.
No. She has abused the women, plunged them into a life of prostitution. Their children are not spared that fate. There are some in this city that would pay heavy crescents for a child.
Liar!
You do well to understand how seriously the Laborists take their contracts, Mariner. If the intelligence says that she is guilty, be assured that you will find no evidence otherwise.
And if we fulfill this contract, the Bloodless will meet us?
The Bloodless will give you your answers. Yes.
She is a matron of the Sorelle, Cicero. A matron of my guild. I need to see for myself if this is true. I'm going.
No. You have a vested interest in this, Mariner.
But I...
And seeing another Sorelle asking about her ward, it'll raise flags, don't you think?
Oh, you're right. I'll take along 2 of the others. Any more and it'll be suspicious.
We'll await your decision downstairs, then.
Quite a temper back there.
The man brings dark tides, and I do not like it.
What do you have against him?
Some burdens are better borne on the shoulders of many. Mine are not such burdens. But I appreciate the thought.
Razatov is somewhere out there, and I need your mind on this. Fully. I can see dark clouds in your eyes. You are drifting from this investigation. I don't want that. Whatever these burdens of yours are, if you ever think sharing them might help...
The others are waiting for you.
Just remember my offer.
The irony that the Mariner is a man, is an island at sea.
Cicero! Ven was telling me we had a special guest.
Livia! I missed you last night.
I was out with Damien. We had some errands to run, shopping for Seiho's sojourn. It's tomorrow, after all.
Damien?
Oh, Cicero. It's been that long, hasn't it?
I'm afraid I'm missing something.
Cicero, meet Damien Marimbus, our son.
Pa, is this...
That's him, all right.
Wow. Pleasure, sir. A real pleasure.
What awful stories has your father told you about me?
Oh, awful? You're kidding, sir. Nothing short of amazing they are.
Oh, Ven.
I speak the truth. What can I say?
I'm sorry for taking your time, Cicero. You're busy, I'm sure. And we have preparations to make for the festival, but it was nice seeing you again.
And you as well, Livia. You won't be going off from here anytime soon, will you?
No, we'll be seeing you around, Cicero. Don't worry.
Excellent. Then until next time.
Aww. A nice little family scene.
So, found anything?
I wasn't able to do very much without the proper tools. Livia's got them from the market, though, so I'll be able to conduct further tests now, but nothing so far.
Well, if you do find anything, let me know, all right?
Of course.
Amadea.
Not now.
I wasn't going to talk about that. I was going to ask about how you knew the Bloodling.
Same thing.
You met him as a mask runner?
I thought you said you weren't going to talk about it.
I just need to know if we can trust him.
We can.
All right. If you say so. So, how is Fabio taking the news?
He doesn't plan to stand in your way, if that's what you mean. He's as interested in the nature of them as we are.
Do you think you'll say the same once we find out what they actually do?
You ask when you already know the answer.
Right. I was just hoping, I suppose.
Look forward, Inspectore. We have work to do.
Settled in already, I see.
It's quite the lovely place you have, really. And quite the motley crew as well.
Don't I know it?
It's not every day you see drops of colors in such close proximity. Golds and blues and browns. Makes me wonder, though, what strange reasons glue this lot together?
Perhaps if you do your job, you might find out.
Yes, of course. We'd best get on with it then, no? Here we go, sir. All touched up.
Aha! Yes, that one, please.
Where to, sir?
I wonder if it'll actually change the look of our mask when we're, like, talking.
It's rather curious that we're traveling to a Sorelle ward without our Sorelle.
There are some times when familiarity is less than wanted.
Now is one of those times?
Unfortunately so.
Even the best of the guilds still has shadows, doesn't it?
We'll be here, sir.
Sorelle de Mer.
All right, this is it.
The Withering Mast for you.
An Inspectore. It is rare to see a member of the White Spire in a blue ward. It is brave of you to come.
It is only brave if there is a reason to be afraid.
And there isn't, of course. My name is Matron Beneva.
And mine you needn't know.
Ah, of course. I understand. Well, I shouldn't keep you too long then. It seems the lot of you have a purpose here. I'd best leave you to it.
I'm surprised she didn't recognize you.
Whatever it is, we need to find evidence of what she's up to. The women here should be able to tell us more. Excuse me, miss. Have you a moment to spare?
What do you want?
My name is Cicero.
Sable.
And your child?
Why are you here, Inspectore?
Do you spend all your afternoons at this table?
Some. Others I spend in my room.
And those days that you spend out here, what do you do exactly? I do not see very many things for one to busy oneself with.
The comfort of peace and solitude. The nursing hall sometimes gets noisy. Sasha doesn't sleep well there.
That is considerate.
Of course. I would do anything for my daughter.
Truly?
If you have an answer that you are attempting to goad out of me, ask the right questions.
You are a direct woman.
There is no room in this world for subtlety. When you need to survive, you cannot spare thoughts of the game of questions. You ask, you answer, you move on. And treasure the moments in between.
Is that what life is like in here? Ask, answer, move on? To the next question, the next meeting, the next customer?
You are just like them.
Sable, please.
You're not an Inspectore. You're a beast.
You are mistaken. I have not come here to...
Sable? Again? If the matron learns that you are displeasing our guests...
It is all right, Sorelle. There is no issue here.
Well, if there is anything, Inspectore, anything at all, I will be right over there.
You have spirit. Your daughter has been very quiet.
You said that I was mistaken. Prove it. Tell me you are not of their kind.
I am not. By all the ages, you have my word in my heart.
Then help me. Please.
Your daughter?
Beneva.
Lost legacies.
Will you help me, Inspectore?
Yes. Yes, I will.
Then follow me. Everything is fine, Asha. Just fine. Oh, and Asha, would you please let Divina know that my room is looking a little lonely at the moment?
Sable, what is going on here?
Routine, Inspectore.
Cicero, please. I'm not acting within the authority of the registry. Not now.
Cicero. The women in this bunko are put on rotation. Every 10-day, we must meet our quota of customers, and only then can we see our babes again. In the meantime, we are given that to remind us of why we must work. When we have our darlings back, they lock us in a room beneath the ground until our names appear on the roster again.
It will change, Sable. Now, I came with 2 others. I need...
It has been settled. Ah, Divina. Pleasure you could join us.
Cicero?
If this plan goes wrong, she will not have to lie when she tells them she was no part of it. She and her babe will be safe. I did not hit her hard, so we don't have much time. The passage to the chambers beneath are down the hall. Beneva keeps those who are not on duty on the first level beneath the earth.
But there are more levels beneath.
When we are on duty, she takes our babes and descends further. I don't know what awaits us beyond. I've never been deeper myself. Now, let's go.
Well then! It's time to kill, some baby kidnappers and, brothel pushers.
She has taken all 3 of them into her room.
That cape is just cloth over the shoulder of a mortal thirsty for flesh. But come, her job is done. It is time for us to retrieve Sasha for her.
Sasha. The stairs down are just beyond this door.
I understand.
Cicero. They're likely guarded.
Then woe to the men who stand for the foul.
What are you doing here?
We've got this!
It's through this latch.
Intruders!
Go, my friends, go!
A new ink obtained.
Intruders!
Eyes from the White Spire.
Stay back, Sable.
Yep, it does not change our mask.
Finally gathered the gall to try, did you? You seem to have forgotten what happens to the children of women who...
You leave Sasha alone!
Oh, don't waste your words. When you're gone, you won't be able to shed tears for her anyway. And you, Inspectore, it seems you found out about my little operation. I'm afraid I can't let you leave now.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not leaving.
Watch your flanks!
No! Cicero! She's going after
Come on.
Sasha!
Masquerade. Ooh. Oh, I need Masquerade for him.
A final chance, Inspitore. Turn and leave, and the blood of the innocent needn't be on your hands.
I will not let willful ignorance cost the people of this Banco their lives, Beneva.
Oh, you interfering will do far worse than that, I assure you.
Beneva, please!
Enough! If talk will not turn you away, then perhaps action will.
Target practice.
No! You will see what you have cost them.
Sasha!
You have lost, Beneva. Stand down, and let the people of this Banco go.
This is Umber, Inspitore. Nothing is lost until death, and little is gained without it.
Hold your ground!
You.
The mechanisms of a contract, Beneva.
The Labores are fools. They think to take everything into their own hands, but you have seen through their ideals. You know why this place exists.
I am not here for your justifications. Goodbye, Beneva.
Sasha!
Take it in. We owe it to you.
Please, Sable. If it hadn't been for you...
Stop it, Cicero. You know where the true credit lies.
Looks like they're leaving.
Goodbye, Inspitore.
Goodbye.
Leaving so soon?
Zelia,
A good thing you did today.
what are you doing here?
Keeping an eye on my wards, of course. And the people who interfere with them. I am the head matron of the Sorelle, lest you've forgotten.
And you let this pass?
I did not encourage it, certainly. But Beneva had her uses, though even she was not aware of my gaze.
But yet you seem to care none that Beneva is now gone.
In the city, those who cannot learn to ride the tides of change will quickly drown beneath their foam. A few letters of appreciation to both the Labores and the Registry for rooting out the rotten flesh. A promise from one of the lesser matrons that she will take care of this ward better than Beneva. In the grand scheme, there is little that is lost from the late matron's departure.
What is this about, Zelia? Surely you didn't stop me to remind me of the Dance of Shadows.
It's come to my knowledge that you're traveling with one of my mariners.
What of it?
Are you aware that he is in charge of an orphanage?
He mentioned it briefly before.
Today a songstress came by asking for him.
Olana.
She's asked for his place of residence, invoking her authority as songstress to claim the knowledge. We told her about the sail heart.
You want me to tell him?
If you could be so kind. I have a feeling this might be something he'd want to know.
I'll see to it that he does.
Thank you, Inspectore. Now, I best be off. The events here have clearly taken care of themselves. Until next time, Cicero.
Let's get back. I have news for the Mariner.
Corruption rooted out and replaced by more corruption, but hopefully corruption of a slightly less sordid affair.
And you are certain that it's true?
The messenger that delivered it was trustworthy, yes.
I need to go.
What is it?
Earlier this day, you offered to listen to my burdens.
That offer still stands.
You should follow me. But you alone.
Oh, back in a bit. Sit, relax, have a drink, eat some food.
Calden?
What?
Talk to me about the sail heart. I'd like to know more about it.
12 years ago, I had just been promoted to skipper and had been given a home in the Tempered Tides. It wasn't a big place, but it was decent enough for a whole family, though I lived alone. One day, there was a loud rapping on my door. It was raining that evening, I remember, and I could hardly distinguish the knocks from the thunder. But I opened the door and found him, dressed in the gold of the Luca, standing before me, drenched in rain and blood. In his arms he carried a body, a young girl that had belonged to a mask runner his patrol had killed. He secretly broke away from them and brought her to the first house with lights, not even knowing if I would take them in. That child was Vint, the first of my 11. And so began what you know as the Sail Heart.
Sounds like quite the hero. Who was this, from the Golden Guild?
Jaxus.
Jaxus Corvale, the songstress's brother.
Yes.
Come on out, little girl.
Get away!
Leave her alone.
We've got this!
Yeah, if you don't have a masquerade, you're apparently just fucked.
It's me.
Oh, thank the ages, Cal.
What happened?
Those men, they must have followed the songstress. I think they were thinking of robbing her, but when they saw the sail heart...
As long as you're safe.
I'm fine.
You mentioned a songstress.
She's left. I'm sorry. She sounded as if she knew you. Once she came in, we couldn't stop her.
Tides.
Oh, look. Another masquerade. Is he going to be our new brother? Is he going to be our new father? Ah, the curious one.
Please.
Calden, what are you searching for?
Tides, where is it?
Calden!
It's gone.
Please, Calden.
No! No.
What were you looking for?
My journal.
She took it?
She must have. It's not here.
And you're worried about a journal?
This way.
What is this?
Really didn't have to laboriously show us all of those frames.
By the ages. Whose is this?
No one's. Not anymore.
Armor of the Luca.
Jaxus.
This was his room.
It was ours.
That's why the little girl asked if I was going to be their new father.
Now you understand.
I'm afraid I do.
And?
I don't know.
All right. Please. Close the doors behind you.
Calden, wait. Damn.
A love letter. Oh, why am I doing this? Why am I reading these things?
The sunset. What a view.
That heavy sigh.
Zeph drew that.
He told me.
Guessed as much when I saw him leave.
I think I might have offended him.
Did you insult Jax?
No, I just said I didn't know how I feel about it all.
Nah, he's not offended then. Sad, maybe, but not offended. Sounds better than that.
Have you always known?
Yep, a whole lot of us do. And we only love him more for it. He and Jax took good care of us. Better than any of our real parents did, at least.
And you have no issue?
No offense to your mighty cape or anything, sir, but what's there to take issue with? He loves differently from other people. It's still love, and I wasn't taught ever that love was bad.
I know. I was just surprised, I suppose.
But do you take issue with it? The way the Hall of Songs does?
No, not I.
That's good. You should let him know. He doesn't hear things like that enough these days. Come on, sir. I'll walk you out.
A final question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Jaxus. What happened to him?
I'd rather not talk about it. Here we are, sir. I'll see you around.
Quite likely, yes. If you ever need to speak to Calden about anything, he's staying with me at a place called the Estiguary.
Can't say I know it, but I'll be damned if I can't find my way around the city. Excuse my language, sir.
It's all right. Take care of yourself, Fint.
I was about to have to stop playing this game, but fortunately.
Is there any other business you have here? If not, we should get back to the Estiguary. I, for one, am exhausted.
We?
Calden. I was branded a deserter of war. I know how it feels to have the world turn against you. And I'd not inflict that upon anyone. You included.
But earlier...
I was surprised, that's all.
And here I was, ready to pack.
Speaking from experience?
My family. Found out when I was young. Acquainted my face with their fists, threw me out, hoping the thugs or disease would get to me before I could ruin their legacy.
And you proved them wrong.
I never wanted to. All I wanted was to go home.
Well, you have a new home now, anyway.
A home that I worry daily about losing.
Is this why you treat Vasco the way you do?
As someone in the inner circle of the Bloodless, he could know.
And you were afraid word would spread.
Once that happened, if the Hall of Songs knew...
What would happen? I apologize for asking. I am not familiar with these things.
My brother has no children, and my parents' songs were sung a decade ago. If the Hall found out about me, they would deem my family's legacy tainted. Its space on the singing tree would be given to proper families with legacies that will endure.
Does your brother know?
He's the one that cared for me after I was thrown out into the streets. In a way, like you, I owe him my life. And I will not tolerate any threats to his legacy, myself included.
And now Orlana has your journal.
I know.
But what was in it that...
If those are winds we must sail, then let them blow first. I think Vasco should have returned by now, and I am eager to hear what he has to say. The closer we get to finding my brother, the better I'll feel.
I understand.
So, a society in which homosexuality is deemed...
A final word.
Tarnishing?
Before we lay this issue to rest.
Yes?
You don't have any plans to tell the others about this, do you?
What do you mean?
I mean, I only speak for myself when I claim acceptance. I am not sure how the others would take it, and I'd rather not find out. Not while we all have to work together.
It's all right. I understand. I hadn't intended to anyway.
Thank you.
It's almost like a dystopian society in which a witch relies on the use of magical masks has problems. Who'd have thunk it?
We're back.
So what was that all about?
Just some Sorelle issues. Nothing you need concern yourself with.
Nothing to do with the investigation?
No. Personal things.
What about Vasco? Have you heard word from...
Salutations! I am returned.
Where is the Bloodless?
In his abode, in a ward which I am certainly disallowed to mention.
You said we could speak with him.
I said he would give you your answers, and answers he has given.
You...
It's all right, Marshal. The answers were our goal either way.
So they were, and so I shall present them. First, the Herald. Unfortunately, he's too recent a phenomenon. Information about him is conflicted, and the most the Bloodless can give is that the Herald is part of a Masquerada faction called the Dactytes.
Nothing new there.
Second, Lysandra, the Whispering Streets.
Labyrinth of the Masqueraders.
How are we supposed to find anyone in that damnable ward?
It will be difficult. The ward is among the city's biggest. Even worse, I doubt she stays in one place. It could take us days.
I have an idea.
What are you asking for? Another contract?
No. Information.
About?
I heard you mention that you were going through all these troubles to find the Mariner's brother. Am I correct?
Yes.
Why?
Inspectore, if we tell him, the Bloodless will know. Given that he trades in information, word could get around.
Marshal, you seem to have a disturbingly inaccurate view of the Bloodless and his messengers. Just because we dabble in information does not mean that we spill it all over the place. But of course, you and your bright guild would know nothing about subtlety and secrets, would you? Seeing how you handled Izander and—
Do not defame my guild!
So instead, I should stand here and let you defame mine.
Enough! The twins have been kind enough to find a location free of the politics of the city, and I will not allow the both of you to drag your baggage along. Within these walls, we are colorless. We are here for one purpose, and that is to get Razatov back. The Masked Runners have him. It's why we're looking for Lysandra, to lead us to the Herald.
And what's he to them?
He was researching powerful ancient artifacts of the Dementicate. If there's anyone that can get us to them, it's him.
Artifacts that do what exactly?
I'd tell you if I knew.
I see. Thank you, Inspectore, for the trust. You can rest assured that I shan't abuse it.
Now, that plan you were talking about?
The pin drop.
The ruins?
Yes. I can do a thing. Spread rumors. Entice Lysandra with word of a cache of Masquerines found. And with the Bloodless's help, and trust me, he will help, I can do it by tonight.
You want to bait her out into the ruins?
In this time when Masquerines are so scarce, I'm certain she will fall for it.
It sounds like a plan.
What's this? The Mariner supporting me now?
Don't make me take it back.
So, Inspectore, what'll it be?
Go. Do what you must.
We should head to the pin drop first thing come sunrise. I will be back here by then.
By the light. I can't believe we just told him.
We didn't have much choice, Marshal. We should get some sleep. Tomorrow's going to be a long day.
Ah, I see you found my trove.
What are these?
My treasures.
Then, the last thing you counted among your treasures tried to kill me.
Oh, please, Cicero. Nala wasn't even poisonous. Besides, biting was her way of showing affection.
Well, at least these aren't alive.
They're very special.
Currently.
I'd been cleaning up the Estiguary some months ago when I rediscovered a recipe I'd gotten off some Tesseric tourists years and years ago. As you can tell, there hasn't been much business here lately, so I thought I'd try something new. Occupy myself and all that.
Was the recipe any good?
Well...
You haven't tried them?
You know I'm not one for these sort of things, and,
What?
You could try one and tell me what you think. The first to try the batch. Consider it an honor.
Your enthusiasm worries me.
Oh, come on, Cicero. For old time's sake. Please?
Why do I think I'm going to regret this?
So, what do you think? Cicero.
Called it.
Cicero.
Songs, Ven.
Ages. I thought I lost you.
How long was I out?
1 minute and 3 seconds.
For a moment, we thought you were dead.
I'm surprised I'm not.
You didn't think you could go off dying on us like that, did you? Can you imagine the songs they'll sing of you, dying because you had a bad drink? The embarrassment.
It was worth a shot.
It was worth 10. That thing is potent, Ven.
For a man who just passed out, you seem fine now.
Yes, the recovery period is surprisingly short.
Oh?
It might hit you like a steed at first, but once it lightens up, well...
Go on, Cicero. Don't leave me hanging. How do you feel?
as though some weight's been lifted. There's a strange clarity to the world. I can't describe it exactly, and I don't know how long it'll last, but I'll admit it isn't the worst feeling.
What news! How excellent!
Indeed. As a connoisseur of fine spirits, I must say your description of it has piqued my interest.
Be warned, though, the initial sensations are not mild. I advise caution.
Well, the mariner is here to take care of us if we so choose to subject ourselves to it, no?
I suppose I could do that.
Perfect! Consider us warned.
Oh, it's a skill reset.
So, the stone.
It doesn't react to any of the chemicals that I've got, and I can't even scratch it. Whatever you've brought me, it's something special. Everstone, perhaps?
Well, I can't say that lives up to my hopes, but thank you nonetheless, Ven.
You're welcome. And,
What?
I am a collector, after all, and,
You can have it.
Truly?
Why not? Just as long as you tell me if you find anything more.
Of course. Thank you, Cicero. Now, I think I'll run it through some more, experimental techniques. Oh, this is exciting.
Well, I'm glad you're having fun.
You have something for me?
I promised to make good on our bargain by the day's end.
And the day is almost over.
The lady has delivered as she promised. She has found where your rebel leader has been hiding.
And where is...
And she has given you the means you asked for.
What is this?
It is yours.
Well, that doesn't seem good.
The second canticle? My brother used to sing it quite a bit. He'd often dreamed about what the city was like during the time. I was thinking, maybe if we found the artifacts, found out how they were used to create Masquerades, maybe we could turn back time. Make the city the way it was back in the second canticle. What do you think?
What do you want?
Amadea.
What do you want?
An answer.
I don't hear a question.
Why are you shutting me out?
I'm sorry. Are you expecting the world to greet you with open arms?
I hadn't expected it to bury me under ice. When I found out that you were a mask runner, I thought... I don't know, that I could talk to you.
Talk to me?
You were a mask runner, a part of what my brother had once led. Is it so wrong for me to want to connect with his legacy?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Why?
Because I've left that life behind.
Yelling about it in the house is the best idea.
You tried to talk to me about the war that you weren't even a part of. You don't know what we went through.
I lost my brother.
I lost my life. Everything that I had, everything that I was, I lost. So don't you dare come back and tell me to talk to you about it.
Then why did you agree to come?
Cicero, you're not good at this.
secrets you've been keeping.
This...
What do you mean you don't know where it is?
I've heard its name before. Doesn't mean I've actually visited it.
What's going on?
The rumors have been spread, but we don't know where the pin drop is exactly.
Yes, well, I'd taken for granted that...
That what?
That maybe one of you might have known.
It's a set of ruins, isn't it? You'd know where it is, wouldn't you, Amadea?
It's an obscure set. I've heard of them before, but I should be able to find it if I came along.
Excellent. What are we waiting for, then?
Have your hands on the right spot.
Today is a special day. Amadea will be your guide.
Are you sure, sir? We know the city like the back of our hands.
Do you know where the pin drop is?
Well, that's... might be the dirt under our fingernails.
Let's go.
All right, now stay left. We don't want to cross the roads that circle the old fountain.
So that'll take us through Alamar's alley?
No, you go around that. When you come to the junction, turn right.
But I thought you said to stay left.
Not this time.
Well, that's what you said about Periwinkle Gardens.
Well, I'm saying that again. So listen. Stay left, and when you come across the 3rd Street after the junction of the 7th and 11th...
I have a GPS.
Did we finally make it?
The ruins are right over there.
Oh, thank the ages. I don't think the horses would have survived another turn.
Well, they'll have to, because you can't stay here. It's too open.
And where do you suppose we go, then?
There's an abandoned warehouse just off this street. You can hide the horses in there and climb to its top story. It's quite safe. You'll be able to see the pin drop and watch for our return.
Right. Got it.
Go now! Flee! It's time for us to kill some mask
Not
runners.
Sure. Sounds like rushing water.
I certainly hear rushing water, yeah. And lots of dogs. Like, is this just a wild field in which dogs, like, congregate?
So, where do you think she'll be?
In the
I would love
ruins
that.
just ahead. No one will think to look for masquerades out here, and...
Stop.
Damn it.
Turn around. Well, I'd heard that you'd return to our shores, but you... What are you doing with him?
The company I keep is none of your business.
It is when he abandoned us.
Like you abandoned Invidious.
Amadea, it's been 5 years.
And he's still gone.
You disappoint me, Cicero. I'd been waiting here, hoping to be surprised, but yet you simply walk in.
How did you know?
The ways of the street are my lifeline. You think I would not suspect anything when rumors begin popping up all over the place? You're a fool to think that plan would have worked. I knew someone was baiting me out. I wanted to know who.
Now you do.
Now I want to know why.
I need to get to the Herald.
And you think I will take your hand and lead you there?
I was hoping we could come to an arrangement, yes.
What bridge do you see that I do not, Cicero? What reasons am I blinded to that have made you believe that I have forgiven you for what you did 5 years ago?
My brother is gone, and...
Because of you! You could have fought for him, for us, your people, and instead you chose that cape!
I did not choose the Masquerada over you!
No! Even worse. You didn't choose at all. A spineless, pathetic man is easier to hate than even a traitor!
You think I don't know that?
Why do you want the Herald?
The Dactytes have captured a friend of mine. I need to get him back.
And what will you do for us?
My friend was on a quest for great power. If you lead us to the Herald...
Do not lie to me.
I may have burnt my bridges once, but I have not forgotten my roots.
If you are searching for the Herald, there are a few things you must know.
The ruins!
Get down! Is everyone all right?
Other than the fact that we nearly died.
Nearly. Be grateful.
I don't believe it. The Dactyte's here before us again. Where are we?
The pin drop. Those holes in the ground. This must be what's beneath.
There's so much life here.
There's water from the river and sunlight from above. It's beautiful.
Yes, beautiful. Also, we're trapped. Potentially.
Let's do this!
Oh, look, Faye. Ain't that lovely?
I thought the Kilgan were fierce.
We should move. We need to find a way out of this place.
What is this place exactly? It barely feels like we're in the city at all.
We're beneath it. That river over there, I suspect the Kalara drains out through this. The hundreds of years that it's been coursing through here must have been enough to carve out this cavern beneath the surface.
And drain out into where?
The echoing plains, just beyond. It probably joins the Venator Vita some ways down.
That would make sense. We are at the edge of the city after all.
Come on. Our legs are going to get us out of this, not our mouths. Lost legacies. There.
Huh.
That spire cuts through the earth. Might be our exit. What do you think? So, Amadea. Invidious?
What did you say about our mouths getting us out of this?
Amadea, this is ridiculous.
I'm sorry if I'm concerned about getting us out.
Who is invidious?
I told you.
If you don't want to talk about it because it makes you upset, then fine. But once it affects the investigation...
It's not.
She opened up to you and you shut her out! We could have used that! Who is invidious?
He brought me into the Mask Runners. Taught me everything I know. During your brother's assault on the White Spire, a bunch of us went. I was supposed to go with Invidious. Support him. But when things got rough, Lysandra pulled me out. She let Invidious die. When I found out, I left the Mask Runners. End of story. Are we done?
For now.
Then let's move.
I need to know the information I need to know.
looks ceremonial.
Religious, even. Well, that's rather elaborate. Who's that? In the middle?
I'm not sure. There's a mark on his head, but I can't quite make out what it is.
They seem to be fawning over him.
They certainly look like they're cleaning him, yes.
A king of sorts, perhaps? There seem to be guards at the edge of the mural.
Too early to say. We should keep moving.
This is where the king was cleaned, it seems.
It certainly corresponds with the mural. Up there.
What does it say?
It's not Dementica, it's just a symbol. The other doors have it as well.
Hold on. I recognize one of them. The one on the right. There was a collection of stones in the room that looked like it. This is it.
You think it might be a key of some sort?
Only one way to find out.
I'm ready.
And when we pick it up, the Fey attack.
Well, at least we know it's important now.
Another mural.
What's this one about?
This one's a little clearer. They've written the symbol of mind above the mural.
It doesn't look very pleasant, does it?
It's the same man from earlier. The one with the mark on his forehead.
Can you make it out here?
No, but I'm getting the feeling that he wasn't a king.
This is where they laid him out.
I don't understand what they used it for, though.
These tools look painful.
Unfit for a king, surely.
Blood, enchanting masquerades.
Here, again.
Blood summoning Fey to enchant masquerades.
A ritual that brought them through these rooms in this order.
Well, we still have another 2 rooms to go, so let's make it quick.
Clean the man, lay him out, cut him open.
This must have been their god. What word is that, above it?
Soul.
The word on his head is a lot clearer now. Amadea?
It means criminal.
This was his punishment?
I don't know.
Well, We should look around. There's still one last door.
His word is law. Our lives are his. Time is his plaything. The lands are his clay. His breath could level mountains. His heartbeat could give life to lands. His gaze could rain destruction. Faith in him must we place, for he sees all, knows all. His whisper could open the skies.
And here's the last one.
Are you ready?
What are they doing?
Not attacking.
Why?
The statue. They're staying away from it.
As though they revere it too.
Come on. Let's not take it for granted.
Intriguing.
What do you think this whole ritual was about?
I'd say some sort of cleansing. In the first hall, there was a physical cleansing. In the second...
It said mental, but I don't think cutting people up was very clean for the mind.
The third hall was a cleansing of the soul. It was a religious room, after all.
And now the last one?
Probably to see why our poor criminal needed to be so clean. Let's go.
Cleansing of the mind, confess your sins. I don't know.
This mist again. Be on your guard. Oh no.
I'll cover you.
Yay for fire. Eat it.
It's all Dementica.
It's a recitation. You who sinned, you have been cleansed. You will serve, a vessel to atone for your transgressions. You will heal the flesh you harmed and shield the face you scorned. For all eternity you will be. Your soul will be bared for all to see, and your strength given to those you weakened. Through the Father's heart you will be redeemed from...
From what?
Ophira amesta aves atu. From man to mask, you will be.
Are you saying...
The Masquerades
Hold it!
have once been Dementicate. They're criminals. There is no other interpretation.
These were their gallows.
Tides. And the artifacts. They facilitated this? Converted the Menticate into Masquerades?
Called it!
Think they did?
Ages. This changes everything.
You bet it does. Our Masquerades, they'd been alive once, Cicero. They'd have stories to tell, words to paint for us. If only we could somehow get to them. What?
I'm just trying to understand.
I think I explained it quite well.
Not it. You. Why you try so hard to hide this side of you. Under all your acidic words, there is a heart that beats. I just don't know why you suffocate it.
Cicero, don't.
But Amadea...
So, Masquerades are people!
There we go.
Amadea?
I was just thinking. The artifacts, if we find them, if we want to make more Masquerades, who's going to play the criminal?
Come on.
Tides. It's been moons since I climbed so many flights.
Just be glad it's behind us.
What is that? Liz.
We have to help her.
Ages, what is that thing?
Questions later.
You forced my hand. Once more.
What are you... Liz! Lysandra! No!
Amadea.
We searched the cavern below, sir. She didn't make it.
Get back to the streets. The others need to know. Gently.
I'm sorry.
This moment has been on the horizon ever since the war began.
That doesn't make it any easier.
Yes, it does. We are tired of fighting, of losing, of dying. Our respect for Lysandra, for the dream she held onto, was all that kept us going. Now that she is gone...
What are you saying?
Perhaps now is the time for us to rest, to fade into the shadows, where we should never have left. Perhaps it is good that she is gone.
You don't mean that.
Yes, I do. The crest of the Malacarte. Your brother designed it. A wreath
of Night's Bane, to remind us to be a beacon of light in the darkest shadows. A swath of red for the blood of those who gave their lives for us. And a shattered mask for the dream that one day they will not matter.
That dream has long withered in our hearts. This crest no longer has a home.
Cesaro.
Take it, or the soil will. Good. Now, the golden canvas.
What?
Before the Dactytes attacked, Lysandra was going to tell you about the Herald. They have a temple under the golden canvas. Lysandra and I had been there once. They tried converting us, but we resisted.
A temple?
For something that's appearing to be their religion. Go there, and you will learn more yourself. There is only a single red grating in the whole ward. Descend through it, and you'll figure it out.
And what of the Malacarte?
I have said already. Now is the time for us to sleep. Goodbye, Cicero. I hope we never see each other again. A little early for a fire.
It's a cold day.
Did you know her well?
Not really. I'd seen her maybe twice in all. And she and my brother, they were close.
There was nothing you could have done. You made a breakthrough today, learning about Masquerades. That's quite an accomplishment.
It doesn't feel like it.
Everyone's talking about the golden canvas. It's Seho's sojourn today. It'll be bustling.
Festivities, just what I needed.
Cicero.
I know, this is pathetic, but allow me just a moment. The Melicate were my brother's dream, and now... It seems foolish that I'm mourning something that died years ago.
You mourn when your heart calls for it. There is never a foolish time.
Calden?
Yes?
Never mind. It's an unworthy thought.
I think by now we both know there is no such thing.
This investigation, this thing that we're wrapped up in, it's growing bigger than I ever imagined it'd be.
I don't think any of us imagined that we'd learn that Masquerades had been Dementicate, that they'd been alive.
I don't know what else we'll find. How much bigger this might get. We have limits, all of us. I made a promise.
And you're trying to keep it. That's enough for me.
Have you spoken to the twins?
The carriage can't fit all of us, but they're willing to make 2 trips. Leventhus and his family have plans to go too. They are runic after all.
Then we should leave soon.
I'll tell the others.
Amadea.
Cicero. Not now. Please.
We did all we could.
I know.
Ready for the sojourn, Damien?
It's so exciting. I heard they're selling the anthologies of Mayara Terrell.
Damien, we already have half of them.
But the collection has Mayara's notes.
All right. Let's go get the stories we have. Maybe we can trade them in for a better price.
Your son is close to his culture.
Sometimes too close. Forgets that we're in Omba. The color of skin means so little here.
Homesick?
Terribly so.
What is it? Ven.
We were supposed to sail tomorrow.
Sail?
Across the belt back to Rune.
What?
Please don't take this the wrong way, but I watched you and Cyrus grow up maskless.
You don't want him to go through that.
Neither does Livia. It's why she buries him in her culture instead of the culture of the city. She doesn't want him to grow up feeling like he's worth less simply because he doesn't have a stupid mask.
It certainly kept the light in his eyes.
I can only hope it'll stay.
You should go. Tomorrow is still ahead of us. You can make it.
And let you take care of yourself. The last time I did that, you almost set my house on fire.
Then I'm serious.
Before you came back, there was little reason to stay. But now, maybe you can teach him a thing or two.
Me?
About life in the city. Ease him into its better half. Give him a mask, maybe.
A masquerade? Then, I don't think...
Forget I said anything. You have other things to worry about, I'm sure, and so do we.
Oh, Ven. Thinking of how to tell the Judge, Master?
It's not every day that I'm required to be the bearer of news as world-changing as this. Masquerades and Dementicate? It's almost too much to believe.
But you do?
How can I not, with everything that's happened?
I'd imagined you to be more, skeptical than that.
I suppose you would, wouldn't you?
'Tis your honor?
If you'll excuse me, Inspectore, I have a report to send.
Of course.
Oh, it's over here.
What?
Ah, Inspitore. I was wondering who was going to pick that up.
Did you hang it here?
It? I don't even know what it is.
It's a bone whistle. I used to play with them when I was much younger, with an old friend of mine.
Can you still play? Well, that sounded pretty good.
Yes, well, we have places to go.
Ah, yes, the golden canvas. Ready when you are, sir.
Alright, well, I think that is a pretty good place for us to stop. So let's see what happens where we go. We'll trigger the autosave, and then that'll be where we stopping.
We'll come back later for the Mariner and the Innkeeper's family.
Let's go then.
Exciting, isn't it, sister? I've never celebrated Seiho's sojourn before.
Just remember, almost everything there is more expensive than it needs to be. Keep your crescents for the things that you need.
Oh, I will. I've got a whole list of them I think I can find there.
Thank you for waiting, Cicero.
I just wanted to make sure you got here safe.
Don't worry. The Mariner took great care of us.
Hurry up, Ma! We haven't got all day.
Your son's right. The bazaars await.
All right, my boy. Let's go see what the peddlers are offering.
Are you going to be all right?
Calden, please. Go and enjoy the festival. Just keep an eye out for the grating while you're at it. I'll go check on the others, see if they've spotted anything.
All right, then. I've got a few things I think I might be able to find here as well.
And at this point, I think is where we'll end our story for the evening. So, thank you all very much for joining us as we play this RPG Weekly. We're going to try to get, now that we're at a new time, we're going to try to see if we can get more people out here just so there's more activity on screen for you, other than me watching an interesting game. Because when I'm playing a game that's pretty interesting, I get sort of distracted and don't focus. I focus on the game, just not on anything else. But thank you all very much for joining us. We have been Final Show Films. We produce a wide variety of content every day of the week. You can check us out on our website at finalshowfilms.com. There's on our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms. If you'd like to support us financially, you can do so by going to our Patreon page and supporting us there. We appreciate all of our patrons, especially our $25 tier supporters, Chris Comfort, Antitonic, and Cat Waterflame. We will be back. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more Adventurers League as our adventurers return. Go to deal with the black pudding that they have found. If you haven't watched the previous episode, be sure to do that because it was a couple weeks ago and it was a pretty good episode. I enjoyed it myself. So we're gonna see what happens next. We'll do that tomorrow morning, and I think that's pretty much it. Remember, we are Twitch affiliates now. So if you want to support us here, be sure to you can feel free to subscribe, especially if you've got a if you've got a free Amazon Prime subscription. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch subscription, a free $5 subscription that you can check out. So we appreciate if you use it on us. You can use it on anybody, just so long as you use it is the important part. But yeah, so thanks for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe below, and we'll see you all next time. Bye. Yeah, stop holding my mouse.